ready to attack anyone whose morals have started to slip. It's the Louisiana Rougarou.
The Rougarou is Louisiana's version of the werewolf.
It's bipedal, it's torso heavy, canine head, the dog-like ears, anywhere between 6 to 9 feet tall. Brown fur, or gray fur, sometimes black.
Just very tall, upright wolf stalking the swamps at night.
In the swamp, there's something standing up on the bank over there. There you are. Look how tall, bruh. Just wanted to show y'all what the Rougarou is.
This is a type of a creature that is seen as a shapeshifter.
It has the body of a man, but the head of a wolf or a dog.
Like their brethren, the werewolf, the Rougarou is able to conceal its identity as a human during the day. But at night, this hairy brute transforms into a violent predator that's only after one thing: the blood of an ill-practicing Christian.
The Rougarou targets people who aren't observing Lent correctly. It's very closely tied to moral behaviors and to expected social behaviors, especially behaviors related to Catholicism.
In many ways, it can be viewed as a manifestation of shame.
The main course of action for the Rougarou is going to be to attack. They bite, scratch, attack, or draw blood from another human.
Once infected by this feral beast, you face a fate more frightening than death: becoming a Rougarou yourself.
That's not the case for all the cryptids, but in this particular case, that is a very, very important part of the Rougarou story, that you are cursed to become a Rougarou.
Which means that any number of Rougarou could be walking amongst us today.
You have great stories, like the story of the young boy in Louisiana and was being pursued by a dog. The dog would not stop pursuing this young boy, and the young boy ends up cutting the dog on his front leg. Then the dog gets away, and later on that day, the town physician shows up with a cut on his shoulder that he has bandaged up and saying, "Hey, what's going on? What's happening?" And so it was very strong suspicion that that physician was the Rougarou himself.
Unlike the Michigan Dogman or Wisconsin's Beast of Bray Road, the Rougarou has roots tracing far beyond America's borders.
It actually has its origins, both in name and in behavior and shape, in the French loup-garou, which is a werewolf from the Middle Ages.
Traveling to America with Louisiana's first settlers, the French wolf soon got an American makeover.
Rougarou kind of sounds almost like a butchered pronunciation of loup-garou.
The Rougarou, we get that from the Cajun accent. Everything kind of just gets smoother when you get to Louisiana. When the legend moved to Louisiana, that kind of ties into witchcraft and voodoo and all of that good stuff we get out of Louisiana.
Now lurking in the Louisiana bayou, this monstrous creature is as murky as the swamp itself.
So you have gators, large spiders, frogs. It just feels like everything is alive in that place.
If you set a foot wrong, you could disappear. And so the Rougarou is an embodiment of that wildness and that unpredictability of the Louisiana landscape.
Over the years, the Rougarou survives by keeping a low profile, which is why it is one of the lesser-known cryptids on record.
You're a human by day, you're a Rougarou by night. So if somebody's attacked by a Rougarou, it's likely somebody you go to school with, somebody you work with, somebody you're seeing on the daily.
It's a curse that's placed on someone, you know? Deep inside, the Rougarou is a person that's trying to be freed from this curse.
And there is one possible way out.
Even though they are this very dangerous creature, there's still a chance of redemption or of reversing this curse and bringing them back into society and civilization.
One of the versions of the legend is that a person will be cursed with the Rougarou, and then after 101 days, they can pass it on to another person.
Should you stumble onto the path of one of these desperate hunters, forget the crucifix and silver bullets. Your best defense here is a piggy bank.
One of the more popular ways to ward off a Rougarou is with the usage of 13 pennies.
So if you take 13 pennies in front of your door, Rougarou, when he comes out at night, he's going to look and he's going to count.
The lore says that once a human turns into a Rougarou, they forget how to count past 12. They'll continuously count to 12, and then back to 12, and then back to 12 until the sun comes up, and then they're heading back home, turning into human form.
The Rougarou is obsessed with counting, but he is not very good at it. So math is your friend if a Rougarou is around.
Even monsters have their quirks. But don't let that fool you. The Rougarou is still one of the most dangerous threats out there.
I think that the Rougarou is personally one of the scariest things out there. Not necessarily because of what it is, but the possibility that any one of us can become the Rougarou.
He's huge, and he's fast, and he's dangerous. It's funny that he can't count all that well, but we all have days like that.
I would say just make sure if you're in France or Louisiana to keep 13 objects handy, just in case.